Welcome to the Motoring Podcast, recharging round Britain on Friday the 17th of July 2026. Hello, I'm Alan.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and on this review of Day 5 you'll learn the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, also that we spoke too soon, and our confidence in the car continues.
Yes, so what are we doing and why? We are trying to lap the UK in an affordable electric vehicle within a reasonable amount of time. Specifically 6 days, because that's as long as we both have. We did it 10 years ago for charging around Britain. We are trying to do it again to find out if it is harder or if it is easier. Have the cars improved? Has the charging infrastructure improved? People complain about both of them. And we're going to find out how we are finding them. Today, we have driven from Inverness to Ullapool, not by the sensible route. We have gone from Inverness to Wick, from Wick to John O'Groats, from John O'Groats to Tongue, from Tongue to Lairg, from Lairg to Ullapool, where we find ourselves. You can see the bustling ferry port behind us. And once we've finished this, and once our car actually has some power back in it again, we will be making our way down to Fort William, hopefully in time for a curry.
Yes.
That's the outline plan. The curry bit may not happen, it might be something else, but definitely to Fort William tonight.
Yeah. So what did we do charging-wise?
Charging-wise, we had charged last night, so we started off with 99% and 200 and whatever miles.
Yes.
We cruised our way up to Wick, where we found an Osprey charger on the edge of town.
Yes.
With fine access to a B&M, a Pets at Home, an Aldi, and not a lot else.
No.
An Argos. There are toilets in the B&M if you ever find that yourself at that Osprey charger. It was cracking the quick, to be honest.
Yeah.
We went in and did what we needed to, and that was that.
Again, it was another charger that, because most of our experience has been with Gridserve, thanks to them as our sponsor. It's rare that we're using outside that network, but we did, and it was a pretty seamless experience.
It was good, yeah.
The app was fairly easy to use, intuitive, and it showed the sort of information that you want if you're charging your car.
Yeah, it was good. It was a very like the Gridserve one, to be honest, but was a little bit more orange. It worked a treat. I was very pleased with that Osprey one. We could have topped up had we decided we needed it at John O'Groats.
Yep.
As well, there are Osprey chargers up there, 75 kilowatt ones. There are a bank of them, some of which were in use whenever we got to them. But we decided we didn't need it. We trotted along. We spent most of the day with more miles than we needed to come all the way to Ullapool.
Yes.
And so we set out to do that. Whenever we got to Tongue, we thought, well, we'll give it a wee splash.
While we have our lunch.
While we have our lunch, we've been doing quite a lot of climbing. So it was quite a lot. Most of the morning, in fact, a lot of the day feels like it's been uphill. And we thought we'd give it a splash while we had our lunch. What we actually did was we spent time, Andrew actually spent time on the phone to their call centre, trying to reboot the charger, all sorts of things. And it was not wonderful, was it?
No, it's our first failure.
It was our first failure so far.
Day 5, lunchtime day 5, we encountered our first failure, and the person on the other end of the helpline tried what they could, and they were very helpful, very lovely, and no problem with the ability to get hold of help either, by the way, with the ESO network. And it just didn't work for us, so we cracked on, because the idea was we just top up while we're having lunch. It wasn't that we needed to. The fact that it didn't work wasn't critical for us in this instance. Other people's mileage may vary or not, and that could have been a problem for somebody. But we then went on to Lairg, and we were able to charge there enough to just give us the confidence that we had more than enough to get to Ullapool.
What happened at Lairg, actually, is there's another ESO charger, 50 kilowatt charger there.
Yep.
And it says 50 kilowatt on it, and so it's got 2 plugs on it. But of course, if you plug 2 vehicles in, it's only 25 kilowatt. So there was a chap from one of the energy supply companies was there and plugged in. So we halved his charge for a little while.
Yes.
He said felt slightly guilty. So we only put in the minimum amount just to give an extra little buffer to get from Lairg to here.
Which was handy.
Which was handy. We would have been.
Because we rolled in with how much left? We rolled in with 10%.
We rolled in with 10%, but it had been 10% for quite some time.
There was a lot of downhill that you were managing very well.
There was a lot of downhill where all the regen was turned off, and I literally coasted into Ullapool.
Yes.
In fact, at one point I was coasting I was doing a whole roller coaster thing, but I felt that once my speed dropped to 45 miles an hour, I did need to give it a wee squeak more of actual power. But we squeaked in with with 10 miles? 10 miles of range.
Yeah, we had 10 miles more than we needed to get here. It was 10% on the battery pack. And now we're charging up at a 4 EV charger that's throwing in 66 kilowatts as we sit here talking to you now, looking out the window.
We were warned that this one was very stroppy.
Yeah.
And that the chap we spoke to up in Lairg, he hadn't made it work the other day when he tried to use it. We couldn't make it work via the Octopus World app. I'm getting bored of downloading more EV charging apps.
Yeah.
So I thought I would give that a try. We couldn't make it work via that, so frankly, I just dabbed my debit card. In the end for this one,
and that worked fine.
It worked.
Dabbing the debit card worked fine.
So the only trouble is it makes it harder for me to get an invoice out of it, but there must be a way to do it.
Yeah,
all doable, all good. We're going to have plenty of charge from here to get to Fort William. The plan is to plug in overnight at Fort William and a slow charger in one of the car parks there, and just let the car do its thing. It's another couple of hours down there.
Yes.
See how we get on. Which is why we're recording now early-ish in the day, relatively early in the day. What else? That was really what we wanted to talk about.
And so tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
final day.
Tomorrow, the final day.
The final countdown.
So from our discussions when we were doing our planning for 15 minutes whilst driving the other day, tomorrow is Fort William back to near Preston, to yours. And we're probably going to stop at Bothwell Services and in other services. I think we talked about Westmoreland.
Yeah, it's something above the Lancaster turnoff because we need to take the Lancaster
or Lancaster. The chat we were talking to today said Lancaster was pretty good.
But that's after the Lancaster turnoff, so we're going to have to stop before because we're going to go via Blackpool. Maybe
we'll do it at Westmoreland, but it's a case of seeing if it's too busy at Westmoreland, we can always do a wee double back. We want to go via Blackpool because people called Alan Bradley have history in Blackpool, and I think that's funny.
Yes, he does.
That's it. Andrew does not think he's right. Frankly, I tried to do this the last time. I tried to get a picture of myself in front of a Blackpool tram for the lols, and it was a really bad picture, and it was awful because it's a terrible selfie face as well. So hopefully I'll get Andrew to take one of me, and you can have a good chuckle at that. That is about it. The Insta, as I said, it just continues to be a cracking wee car.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been fair old handling test today. On single track roads, lots of really crummy surfaces, quite frankly, and it's just nice to drive.
It's not felt unsettled in the passenger seat in any way. There's been no moments where I've gone, oh, hang on, he's pushed it a bit too hard there or anything like that. It's got proper tyres.
It's the proper width.
Yeah.
I mean, and proper wheels, not something fancy that's even.
Yeah, it's not like an i3 where they had very thin wheels.
Audacious spring.
It continues to feel like a bigger car than it is. It handles all the surfaces and everything we're throwing at it. It's just handling perfectly with aplomb, and you feel utterly confident in using it in all conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, we were discussing that it's one of the more expensive B segment vehicles, but you are buying something that isn't what you get at more at the lower end of the price bracket for that range.
Yeah, there's a discussion about whether this is A or B segment size. I say it's B segment, very much sizes with my Yaris, which is a slightly older car, admittedly, and quite small in that segment now. But this, certainly the room and everything, externally it's a small B segment.
Yeah,
it's definitely not small enough to be A segment.
Yeah.
Talked about tomorrow. Do we need to do that?
I would say we need to thank Hyundai for the loan of the Insta.
We do. That's one of the reasons we're singing it's not the reason we're singing its praise. We're singing praises because it's good.
Yes.
But yes,
it's helped make the journey very easy.
It has. And one of the reasons we chose the Insta was because it's kind of prices roughly as close as you can get these days to the Ioniq Electric. that we did it in the first time.
Yeah, and range-wise, it's one of the closest. But importantly, efficiency-wise.
Yeah, we haven't got the same efficiency out of it that we got out of the Ioniq, but it's not nearly as slippery. And
I would suggest we're doing more motorway miles. We have done much more motorway mileage. And because we are confident in the range, we have been able to proceed towards the national speed limit of the roads we've been on. Whereas the other one, we couldn't. I mean, partly because of the traffic last time as well. No matter how hard you pushed people out into gorges in Italian camper vans.
Far less, agreed. far less traffic. I mean, some of the locals were a bit... There was one guy who went 5 metres past a passing place and expected me to reverse 35 to the one I passed.
Yeah, round a corner and all.
And so there was a small standoff until he gave in.
Yeah.
There was no
but the traffic, the roads have been pretty much effectively clear compared to last time. And as a consequence, we are driving it much more like we do our own cars.
Yes. I'll let you think about my cars for a moment and then decide what that means. But I did thank Andrew for being a very good passenger earlier on.
Thank you to Hyundai for loaning us the Insta02. May need to find us to get it back again. I'm quite happy with this, actually.
Yeah. This might have be stolen or something.
Allegedly.
Yes. Oh God, what if it is now that we've said that? I think that's us for today.
Yes,
we're trying to keep it short because we do. It's going to be slightly later, and we're trying not to do the whole arrive after midnight places.
Yes,
we're trying for arrive in time for dinner.
Yes,
this time, which by the way has been one of the biggest differences in this whole thing.
Yes, we'll cover that in the summary when we do the live stream, which we haven't worked out a date for yet. We've got some complications happening next week, just as we were coming along to add to everything. So we'll let you know. We'll give you as much notice as possible when we're going to do the live stream.
Cool, but it's going to be shortly. That means we're at the end, doesn't it? So everyone, don't forget, between now and tomorrow, you can give us any feedback, share your thoughts for the show at motoringpodcast.com on Blue Sky, at motoringpodcast on Instagram and Facebook, and on the contact page of motoringpodcast.com, the hub for all our activities. Remember, you can support us financially via Patreon, and please leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or however your podcast app lets you do such a thing. Andrew, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Best way to get in touch with me this week is if you search for Crack Windscreen on Blue Sky. And Alan, if people want to get in touch with you personally for those short moments when you're not behind the wheel, hooning it round hairpins in Scotland, what's the best way for them to do that personally?
Blue Sky for me, please, where I'm at AJP Bradley. That's BRADLEY.bsky.social. We'll be back very soon, and hopefully, thankfully, are finishing off before they start loading the ferry and all the noise that comes with that. But until then, I've been Alan Bradley.
I've been Andrew Clues.
And safe motoring.